How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Real Mind. Today we are diving back into Dexter New Blood with episode number 3. We did get a little bit more exposition on what's going on. Dexter's routine is now officially interrupted with the police setting up their base camp in his area. We saw where he's hiding the body too, underneath the fire pit or something like that. Clancy Brown was introduced. Kurt, I believe his name is. And I'm thinking he's the main antagonist for this season. He is a very well-known actor, so I assume they wouldn't just get that person to just be some offside character, right? Yeah, Dexter's going to still have to keep evading stuff. We have Harrison in the mix as well now. That dynamic between Harrison and the teens. Harrison's been through a lot, maybe a drug problem, potentially. There's something there with Audrey, maybe. There might be a little triangle there too with the other kid, and yeah, we'll see how all this pans out. Also, we said goodbye to Hannah. Off-screen death. Pretty wild. I know Jada was kind of torn up about that in the comments over on Patreon. Never really enjoyed Hannah that much, honestly. And, you can look back at the reactions and see that. Never really hated her. I just think that, her addition wasn't even really necessary to the show. But to each their own. R.I.P. Let's roll it.
Wilderness.
And ourselves a drone shot.
Privacy. Well, maybe not so much privacy.
Not anymore. Having cookouts, though. Looks like they're just chilling.
Made one tiny mistake and killed someone.
Yeah, a tiny mistake.
Now I need to search for a way to get everyone off my land so I can be a proper dad for my son.
Same stuff he was saying back in the day. Season 6 in particular.
A better what? A better father to my son.
Thanks, Logan.
Oh, yeah, anytime. Oh, hey, you want to wrestle? I'm the assistant coach of the high school team. You should try out.
Dexter was like,
Pause.
Yeah, I'll think about it.
We're going back to the station. There's been a break in the case.
break in the case. I don't know what it would be. So it looks like that girl might escape from wherever she's at, and there's going to be some issues at the school. That's what I got from the flashes. Somebody falls backward in the snow or something.
In just 1 year, he went from a 3.8 down to a 1.2, then back to a 3.0. Why is that?
The death, Anna.
My stepmom died.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And where were you? Yeah, why don't you tell them why you left your beloved son?
Oh, yeah, I'm loving this incorporation of the dead.
Jim had no way of reaching me. It's not his fault.
Hi, Jim.
Okay, teacher. She dropped him off.
Ms. Silvera will be administering Harrison's placement exam. Then we'll know which grade level he's at. And you'll know a little more about your son.
Yeah, it's kind of clueless right now. Well, what have they been doing all the time that they've had at the house? Just eating pancakes? Haven't been catching up or anything?
Apparently, Reservation Land Management has footage of Matt Caldwell shooting that deer.
Oh, a hunting camera, yeah. Yeah, it might not be a hunting cam. Hunters do have cameras out there sometimes. And there shouldn't be hunters.
Heat signatures?
It's pretty cool, huh?
Very.
Does that look like the rifle you sold to Matt?
It's just like the one I sold Matt.
From the next quadrant over, 20 seconds earlier. He's heading for the same spot as the first guy.
We need the angle that shows where they went.
There's a blind spot.
Blind spot? Why is...
Oh, lucky.
Let's interview everyone who came in contact with Matt in the 48 hours before he disappeared.
On it.
This has really given me the vibe of I don't know, like an Until Dawn or something like that. Like one of those type of games.
Check out the big brain on H. Yeah, man. Look at this shit.
Pulp Fiction reference.
That ball sack over there. Somebody's in love.
Dang, screenshot.
That's fucked up. Right?
It is. Catfished, man. That's crazy. Give that boy some trust issues. It looked like he had some drawings in there though. Maybe Harrison will connect with him on that.
I was calling off the search after the first day because I found a glove.
Yeah.
What was I thinking?
What I wanted you to think.
Exactly.
Damien?
Dexter doesn't look impressed.
Are you the CSI from Albany?
Well, originally.
Maybe he's just like excited to get his hands back in the game. Yeah.
I'm a big fan of those CSI shows.
Hey, I'm coming too.
As long as you both stay outside the crime scene and don't disturb the corpus delicti.
Corpus do what?
It's Latin for body of evidence. Damn it.
Wow. This guy seems incompetent. Or at least clumsy. Dexter's so lucky.
What you doing, Mr. Church? Some of the blood coagulated differently than the rest, so?
He might just be like one of those clumsy genius archetypes, though.
It's human. Someone may have mixed it in with the deer's blood so we'd overlook it.
Uh-oh. This guy's good.
I mean, is he really that? I mean, he just did his job. Did a little test. But maybe that's not normal. Maybe people don't do that. I don't know.
The victim came from over there. The attacker from over there.
A missing stone.
There was a rock here. Must have been removed after the attack. We're looking at foul play.
I've gotten rusty in my abstinence.
Well, what now?
I mean, what else do you expect? Not gonna come back and be perfect.
Kurt, with your permission, I want Damien to do a familial DNA test. We'd run a sample of your DNA against the human blood that we just found, and if it's a match, it will confirm that it's Matt.
Harrison scored higher than any student has ever scored on the school placement exam. Tess left the room for 15 minutes. And when she came back, he was done.
The test was easy.
I believe while Tess was gone, Harrison used his cell phone to look up answers.
I did not.
I mean, that last we left off in season 8, he had a little streak. I don't know if that continued into adulthood or I guess. I mean, the actor's an adult, so, you know, early teenage years. I think the actor's older than me.
Search dogs.
Yeah, should be here tomorrow.
Well, ramping things up.
Yeah, killing a local. It's not like whoever the other person is killing the women that are going missing.
It was a one-time slip-up. It doesn't change who I am.
Who is that exactly?
Stop.
You gonna kill me? Again? Or are other people gonna die? Because that's what always happens, right?
A higher score than the first time.
That's great. Congrats.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on mentally, but like, yeah, those are the moments when you're just like, you know, they're at home together, can be reconnecting, you know, learning everything that he's missed.
Good news or bad?
I'm afraid it's a match.
I'm sorry.
Well, you should be. You made my son out to be some kind of criminal.
I wasn't wrong about that.
Excuse me?
Matt,
Shoot the deer, but
in Seneca territory, and
I don't
dollars.
give a shit about that.
The next day we will cover the entire quarry. The day after that we will canvass the caves. We will not stop until we find your son.
The caves? You think he's that far out? Just call me when you have an actual lead.
I understand the frustration on both sides.
I sleep beneath the golden hill.
I don't know, the camera's gonna catch him again? Going back out there? Okay, another shot from the intro. Oh, okay. Leading the dogs, that's what he's doing.
First the glove, now the scent. 1 + 1 = Matt.
Let's hope so. I mean, that forensics guy seemed pretty on it, and they're gonna have dogs, and like he needs to get rid of the rest of the scent, you know? The scent that's gonna lead them straight up to the fire pit. Okay, so maybe she doesn't escape. It's just like, it's like a, what, Speltzer situation?
I like it when they're strong.
Playing with her. Nice, hunting her. Yeah. I wonder where he's at, though.
Hunters get up way too early.
Oh, he heard that, so it must be close-ish. Of course, that sound would travel, but gotta be in the vicinity.
I learned how to take care of myself. I gotta get to school. You gonna drive me or should I walk?
Wow.
Not like it's been a long night or anything.
Angela has tasked me to interview everyone who saw Matt in the days before he went missing, so I just need to ask you a few questions. It won't take long.
I have to take Harrison to school, but I could stop by the station during lunch
Saw you signed up for wrestling.
Yeah, I guess maybe he's staying, which I'm not surprised by. They wouldn't bring him back just to have him leave, I think. And they're just making the stakes higher for Dexter. The heeled boots. What is this? She's got an early 2000s theme, so... She looks familiar, though.
Hometown hunk, larger-than-life personality.
She a reporter?
Friend of Matt's?
Nope. Just a citizen activist.
Sounded like a headline there.
This town is small as fuck, but there's gotta be some place to hide a body. What about your lake? Just like old times.
It's too shallow. Some fisherman's liable to catch a piece of Matt.
That was my initial thought. I didn't know it was shallow, though. Yeah, I was just saying that. Oh, I love this incorporation of Deb. It's so hilarious.
Little Fargo, don't you think? Who are you? Are you Dexter Morgan or are you fucking Goldilocks?
But yeah, I was thinking, like, put it in the bag and, like, sink it, you know? It would, I guess, maybe preserve it, but at the same time, depends on how long that lake is frozen over. It is New York, so I don't think it would be year-round.
Dream, dream, dream when I want you.
Oh, this is Kurt.
Is dream, dream, dream.
Is this, like, taxidermy stuff?
In the night.
He's sucking something out, or putting something in.
Pause.
Be embalming fluid. I don't know. I don't really know the process of, like, mortuary work.
Haven't seen you in these parts for a while.
I'm looking for Johnny Bullhorn.
Johnny couldn't have hurt the Caldwell kid because he's been sick with the flu.
Please don't make this about Iris.
Who is Iris? She mentioned her before. Maybe that would be her sister. Not too shabby for a school lunch. Not the slop we were given.
Gruel. Sandwiches. Gruel omelets. Nothing but gruel.
Caitlin's not real. Zach's been catfishing you.
Who the fuck are you?
Harrison.
You identified the rifle Matt used. Can you give me any help with this one?
Identify his own rifle.
Looks like it's probably a Remington 700. There's over 100 of them in this town alone. So, Matt, once again, what to do with you? The old iron mine. It's remote, plenty big, filled with...
Is that the caves they were mentioning earlier? I think that's the last thing that she mentioned, the last place that they're going to search.
Ethan's got a new pick for his girl.
You think you're fucking funny, you small dick anime virgin? Leave Ethan alone, or I do this to you every single fucking day. I'll see you guys on the mat.
Sure would be glad when your mom gets that white buck out of my shop.
What? You've got to be kidding me.
Whoa, Audrey, hold up. Goddamn shame.
Fucking sucks.
You know, does she have, like, some affinity for wildlife? I mean, she was at the little protest they were having.
We should do something before they do.
Eat it.
So what's the deal with you and your dad? Before you showed up here, he never mentioned you.
It's not worth going into. What's the deal with you and yours?
He's dead.
They're not really driving.
Angela is my mom.
I wonder if... You keep mentioning Iris. I wonder if she's Iris's kid. And that's why Angela didn't go searching for her. I assume Iris is like her sister or something. Because the lady was talked about them growing up together and stuff.
Probably the damn radiator again. You mind going down that road and calling Jerry's auto shop? I need a 3-inch wide, 2-foot-long radiator hose and 2 clamps.
I got you.
Yeah, Cadillac. Oh. One-on-one, face-to-face, huh?
Do you need a ride someplace?
Stop fucking up the planet.
Oh, my. You know, I find it funny that you hate me so much. And here you are driving this old gas guzzler. Some might consider that hypocritical. But I don't. People are complicated.
Right.
One day you'll understand how the world really works. You have a good day.
Yeah.
Audrey.
Yeah, they're making this
Stay
guy
safe.
out to be a piece of garbage. with no nuance. No surprise there, but I mean, again, he's not necessarily wrong. And like, I was thinking through that as well myself. It's like, a lot of people will protest something and then go and, utilize the stuff that they're protesting against just because like that is the infrastructure that we have. You know what I'm saying?
I miss this. The quiet, calm, solitude.
A bear. Oh yeah, it might work out too for him. Bear will eat up Matt. Give him a little snack.
Hey, you, what's up?
Just seeing if you want to come over for dinner tonight.
Harrison.
Yeah. Audrey invited him over.
I'll come.
I've always fantasized about hurting Zach like that.
They don't know anything about real violence.
I got a bunch of drawings of those assholes. You want to see?
Has Harrison experienced a lot of real violence? He might have some of those dark tendencies that Dexter was afraid of.
What, do you like the Punisher or something?
They'd be fucking scared of me if I was, huh? Fucking petrified.
I think he's awoken something in Eth as well.
I believe Molly Park is in Iron Lake.
Who's Molly Park? She was in the store today. She was just loading up on winter gear. I guess she's sticking around for a while.
Wait, so she's
like an active...
It's only like the most popular true crime podcast out there.
Did you think I wasn't gonna find out?
I was trying to do the right thing.
By going behind my back?
Even though it's dead, it still deserves dignity.
Next time, just come to me and we can find a solution together.
Can I do a bonfire?
Who'd have thought I would find this?
Good things.
A family in Iron Lake. A family that I very nearly lost because of an impulsive kill. I don't want to lose this.
Yeah, that's what he always says.
Humans have always dealt with death through rituals. Guess mine are just a little unique. I should have stood up for you at school yesterday. I was wrong.
Yeah, you were.
From now on, this is me on your side.
Still taking lines, though.
Thanks, Dad.
Dad? Wow. My new favorite word. I only wish the rest of my problems would go up in smoke.
And just have to get rid of the bones.
Rid of Matt's body for good.
Is that an incinerator? Is it gonna take care of the bones?
But I don't know. What if it's not the killing that got me in trouble? What if it's the not killing?
That's a dangerous thought, man.
That does not look like a grieving father.
Yeah, he's celebrating that kill, I think.
Did you hear my news?
No, what's the news?
He's alive. Yeah, Maddie's alive.
Oh.
I actually saw the face of the son that I thought I had lost.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Hey, come on. Why don't you let me give you a ride home?
I'm just right here.
I insist.
Was that all? No. Would that all have been in his head? No. Kurt just must be off his rocker.
Hey, my Maddie's alive. Can you believe it?
Actually, no. And why would he lie?
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I'm not really super invested in this, honestly. I don't know what it is. I think it's maybe just like the fact that it's such a departure from like the normal stuff that we get from Dexter. Not to say that like it's not, that I don't enjoy like a departure from the regular, but like this is just, I don't know, it just, the vibe is off. There's a lot of like generic stuff that they're throwing in here. We're only on episode 3, so of course I'm going to keep giving it a chance. Keep, seeing if I enjoy it or not. But so far, nah, it's all right. Like the first episode was great. It just kept on with that type of energy, that type of storytelling. I would have been enjoying it so far, but as we've been continuing, it's just been kind of like let me see if I can articulate that better. I enjoy the fact that of course we're getting more Dexter, and they keep calling back to like different things he said in the past, different phrases that he's had, different habits that he has, like for example him using the line from somebody else again, to kind of, you know, cement as his own, right? So they're calling back a lot, maybe trying to, you know, get that nostalgia up. But for me, this just doesn't really feel like right in a way. A lot of the different plot points are just kind of, it seems like they're just kind of thrown together. It might just be the fact that we're just so early on and it's characters that we don't really know too much. The like teen story, I'm not super invested in just because I just generally don't get invested in that type of story. Like teen drama stuff, even when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? Like even when I was around that age or younger, I didn't really get invested in that stuff. Like Disney Channel, it's just always not been of interest to me, honestly. We're getting a little bit of a spin on it. There were some generic hits, you know, some generic plot points that we got there with the generic bully jocks, you know, and the nerdy artist geek guy who gets bullied. And then Harrison, the new guy coming in, he's, you know, different from everybody else. He's smart and, you know, he befriends the the nerdy kid so that he can help him out, right? Not breaking any new ground there, but there is potential there. And I'm still, of course, keeping an open mind, still going to give it a chance. We saw that Ethan has maybe a darker streak, or at least fantasizes about having a darker streak. He said he fantasized about hurting the other kid for a while. So now that Harrison has helped him to do that, you know, it might have just opened the floodgates on something a little bit darker, like school shooter type of vibes, you know. But Harrison, that kid, they're probably gonna have some kind of wrestling showdown or whatever, probably like a Karate Kid style. That's gonna be hilarious if that happens. But yeah, and of course, you know, Audrey. I don't even know what the situation was with Audrey and that other guy. Maybe they were just friends. I don't think they were dating. It doesn't seem like they were. I have no idea what was going on with them, but there was obviously some interest from the guy for her, and she was interested in him. Maybe just because, as she was saying, you know, she's stuck here, and you know, you gotta go with what you got. Clearly has interest in Harrison now, and we got a little bit of that contrived bit of interaction with her and the rich guy. I don't think we need that, honestly. Like, what is... Maybe it'll do something for the story later on, but as of right now... Okay, so the power cut out. It is raining outside, but anyway, back to what I was talking about. The billionaire angle, not necessarily super compelling. What I think they're trying to do, or were trying to do, was to make it seem like the billionaire was the killer, right? And, you know, they're painting him to be this villainous guy. They're not really giving him any redeemable qualities other than the ones that he's mentioned himself. And of course, when people mention the good that they do, you know, people tend to roll their eyes at that. And he's not really a good person, apparently. So at least that's what they're painting him as. And I think that's why they are doing that, is to like try to maybe throw people off to thinking and like villainizing this guy as like, oh, he must be the killer. And maybe he is. I could be completely off about Kurt, but I don't think I am. And they're just using him as that, like, you know, fake antagonist device, and that kind of sucks because, you know, he could have been a more nuanced character. They are definitely playing into like stereotypes here a lot. The tropes, the stereotypes are very heavy in this season. You know, the rich white guy trope, stereotype, whatever, coming in and having little regard for the native people. What would have made this angle way more compelling is if he had been like a native of the area, you know what I'm saying? Like if he had been a part of the tribe and then went out and kind of, you know, took advantage of all these things and the oil and everything like that and became super rich for that, and then coming back home and having to deal with the dynamics of, like, you know, his people feeling betrayed by that, and, you know, we could explore all those angles, and that would make sense why Audrey would have such like an aversion to him, rather than just like this ideological aversion that she has to him. Like, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to preach, you know, climate change and all that stuff. But I think that if they had made him more integrated with the society, then that angle would have been much more compelling. Speaking of compelling, let's get to the actual like beat of the stuff. Like this, all the other stuff is just supplementary stuff that I'm not super invested in, but like the Kurt angle, right? Kurt angle. Going under the assumption that Kurt is the one killing the girls here, or at least just that one girl, he, you know, let her out to shoot her. And if that's the case, I can foresee maybe a situation where Kurt gets framed for his son's death. You know, people seem to know like he has a reputation or something like that for being not a good person. I don't know about violence or anything like that, but just generally, you know, not good. So I'm sure people would be happy, and especially like Angela, she already doesn't like the guy, so I'm sure she'd be happy to, you know, if the evidence started to point towards Kurt, she would be happy to, you know, oblige and take up that evidence. But hey, they're trying to subvert expectations in this, so they might not. And Dexter has apparently gotten rid of Matt's body through the incinerator, the incineration. It's only episode 3, but I'm not sure where we're going to be going from here, because he got rid of the body. He, you know, and that kind of brings me around to like the whole angle with Kurt at the end here. He was saying that he had got a FaceTime from Matt and that Matt was alive. Maybe it's the grief that's driving him towards that. Or is this like a thing with Dexter? Because like in the first episode, we got a number of times where Dexter's perception wasn't necessarily the reality, like when he took the gun from Matt and hit him in the face the first time, you know, that he was seeing and not necessarily doing. And of course he sees Deb all the time, and she's interacting with the world. She is way more heavily involved in his perception and consciousness and, you know, interactions than any other ghost that he's had, you know, in his perception, his peripheral. But like, who's the crazy one here? I think that's what we're asking. And if Matt is alive, which I doubt, because like everything we've seen, everything they've built around is that, you know, Dexter has killed Matt. And if that's not the angle, Dexter's saying at the end here as well, like, you know, maybe it's the fact that he hasn't been killing that's the issue. Like, okay, did he fantasize about that kill? Did he make that up in his head because he is having some kind of withdrawal from the kills? That would be an interesting angle as well if they did explore that. But again, the safest bet would be to assume that it's just Kurt, but it could be more than that. And if it is, I'm looking forward to exploring that deeper. None of the other storylines are very compelling to me yet. Maybe they will get more so, but we will see. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, leave a comment down below. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all on the next one.